Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to another episode of Train Sim Classic. Today we're here in the fantastic Class 156 in a prototype Northern Rail livery in 2005, August 2005. We're on the bridge between Oxford Road and Piccadilly at the end of the Just Trains Midland Mainline route. We're going to be operating a service up to Buxton today on the recently released Buxton Extension for the Midland Mainline. We're going to unpause, or I'm going to press the wrong button and take a screenshot. Yep, that's not the right one there. Yep, there we go. Unpaused. Excellent. We're going to get this train set up and ready for action. Oh, it's already set up. Right, okie dokie. That's absolutely fine. Oh, right, okie dokie. That's brilliant. So yeah, we're on a service to Buxton. This particular service originated at Blackpool North because, of course, back in the day, that is where these services used to come from. It helps if you take your DRA off, Joe. Try again. There we go. Oh, look at what we've got the other way. 150/2 in the first Northwestern livery. Obviously, it's got the little Northern branding. You can just see it there on the right-hand side. So yeah, this route will cost you a grand total of £21.99. It has numerous updates to the Hope Valley line, as well as the extension from Hazel Grove up towards Buxton. I have driven this in both directions, and I have to say, I absolutely love it. It's well worth the money. Just Trains, really, on this particular route, their Wessex Mainline route, of course, have really taken the lead in terms of quality of DLC routes. They really, really have. This is just a fantastic route, in my opinion. Now, of course, that is my opinion. You might find that there's other routes that you prefer, but yeah, they really, really are fantastic developers, and they deserve all the money that. I mean, I didn't get a free key. I'm not just. I did pay for this. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I love it. I did want to do it as a live stream. I'm really, really sorry that I haven't done it as a live stream. I've had some horrendous technical problems with my computer these past couple of weeks, and the internet keeps dropping out. It's flummoxed even the greatest of minds. But yeah, I'm not quite sure how we're going to fix that. We'll get it fixed eventually, I'm sure. But yeah. So, arriving into Manchester Piccadilly now. We'll just bob that DRA on. There we go. Little bit of lag around Piccadilly, you do get it. The fact of the matter is, it's a huge station, and let's have a look. Right, once we've done that, we'll pop outside. Look at that. That livery, Northern Rail, the prototype, or one of the prototypes, I think there was 3 prototypes where they were quite angular like this. You might actually recognise this livery. It was designed by the same person, I do believe, if my sources are correct, that designed another rather prominent livery on the UK transport network. So yeah, that could absolutely be a load of rubbish, but it's come from a reliable source. So as we're in 2005, of course, there's a lot of liveries that are no longer with us. If we go through here, what have we got? We've got a ScotRail, that's on a Transpennine Express service. I'm assuming it's ex-ScotRail there. We've got Virgin Trains Voyager 220, of course, so that's a cross-country one now. And Central Trains down here, Northern. It was a brilliant time for the railways because there was so much stock moving about. What have we got down here? 170! Wow! Central Trains 170. Funny, actually, isn't it? The 170s went away for a time on this route. And, of course, they're all back now, aren't they, with East Midlands Railway? They've got a lot of the 170s. And you do see them at Manchester Piccadilly again. Yeah, Manchester's gone through its sort of phases, hasn't it? Because the 170s were at East Midlands, and then Transpennine Express obviously operated some 170s, and, of course, now they're back with East Midlands. It's just, yeah, the 170s all over the place. I do like a 170. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I really would be lying if I said I didn't. But yeah, obviously Northern didn't choose to go for this livery in the end. I do believe it was something to do with the fact they'd had a discussion, and White Trains didn't work. White Trains got dirty and looked scruffy very quickly. I'll leave that thought with you there. Yeah, you can, yeah. I'm saying no more on that one, but yeah. So yeah, White Trains didn't work, so they went for the more famous blue and purple, which stayed for the franchise until 2016, and then they've obviously slowly been debranded. The exception, of course, being the 333s in Leeds that had a red and blue, similar livery, well, the same livery, but red and blue, because obviously they were Metro train. What else did they have? They had the 319s that were in the Northern Electric livery, and there's one more that I'm thinking of. Oh yes, the Class 155, which was always in an angular livery. It wasn't curvy. the 155s, the ones in West Yorkshire. No idea why the 155s didn't get the same treatment as the rest of the fleet. It was a bit of an odd one, but yeah, they sort of just stuck with that and had them slightly different. Yeah, I'll never know the reason for that. Oh, ScotRail 158's off there. Where's that going? That's 1 Papa 49 Middlesbrough to Manchester Airport, so that's going to go out in front of us by the look of things. I do like it here because there's so much to see in terms of your train spotting. This is such a good era, isn't it? What's that got on? Not in public use on the Pacer. Of course, the Armstrong Powerhouse Pacer pack there. Right, here we go. Oh! The guard's going to buzz us, and of course it is RA right away on the junction here. Here we go. We're not going to respond to that. We'll just pretend we haven't heard it. So that 158 is going to go on the... I think that's going on the fast lines, and we're on the slow lines out of here, which means we'll probably catch it up towards Slade Lane Junction, which is just past Longsight Depot, where they branch off to Manchester Airport. So we don't actually need to go too fast because we're going to get checked down. Oh, look at what we've got here. Class 175, is it? Awesome. The 175's obviously all been withdrawn now. You don't see these at Manchester Airport anymore. This is obviously First North Western days, but it does look like it's been debranded. Alright, come on, don't make me... There we go. Oh, you see, it says speeding. Yeah, we need to wait until we're in the 40 to full blast it. So we've got the green there, lovely. There we go. Go via Levenshulme, so obviously we'll be on the slow lines there. Pretty sure that the Pendolinos were in 2005, were they not? Obviously the 185s for Transpennine weren't, so you don't see any of them. But yeah, were the Pendolinos not a thing at this stage? You'd have thought that we'd have had some sat in Manchester. Maybe they haven't done that for screen. For the frame rate, so that it's not too laggy. Got the line round to the left there. It actually, if I press 9 and pause brake, we'll pause it, there we go, you can actually see the scale of the route we've got now. So obviously you've got the route round there via Brinnington, which we always had. You've got the service down there, Slade Lane, you've got a couple of services there, and then we go down here to Stockport, the line off to the left, down towards Hazel Grove here. Now this branched off and joined on there to go down the Hope Valley to, of course, Sheffield, which is just here. But this DLC is going to add from Hazel Grove all the way up here. Runs parallel with the Hope Valley. There's a valley in between these two bits and pieces, hence why it doesn't just come off here. But you've also, it comes under this line here, so the freight line that forms the triangle by Chinley, that comes off and works its way down towards Buxton and Peak Forest. Right round there, yeah, you see that bit round there, is that Peak Forest? Yeah, that's the one. Joins back on just at Buxton, and then we've got another line all the way down to Donlow Quarry. So you do get quite a lot for your £21.99. Personally, oh yeah, unpause it, Joe, come on, there we go. Personally, I think it's an absolutely fantastic route, I really do. I mean, just look at the detail on it. You literally could, I mean, this is lagging somewhat chronic, isn't it? Why has it been like that? I think as we get out of the Manchester area, it does lighten up a little bit. I mean, I'm running an Intel i9 12900K, so you know it's a fairly decent. There's your L142. It's a fairly decent processor there, and I'm running an RTX 4090, so you know it should be able to cope with this. I really don't know why it's been so laggy. Probably, again, Longsight. Look at Longsight. It's so detailed. The amount of clutter, foliage. If we just flip around there, look at all that over there. Yeah, your frame rate does take a bit of a hammering in this central area. But as we get out, it should... Oh, hang on. Let's just get a bit of a break on it, shall we? Oh, double yellow. Right, we'll slow down anyway for the 45. You can see the points that's set looking at the menu at the bottom there. Let's have a bit more. There we go. Oh, hang on. Flashing single yellow. Right, off we go again. Why is it idling? It's idling but speeding up. Right, we'll try again. What's happened to the engine sounds? Anybody? Seems to be working. That's really, really bizarre. Like they're just building really slowly. What happened to the revs? Is it because it's changed gear? Is that what it is? So obviously Levenshulme is showing as a station that we're going to stop at, but we're not. It's just because they're using it as a via point, so it will put us on the slow lines there, which is what we want. I'm assuming something, maybe that Voyager, for instance, is going to come sailing past us on the fast line. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Right, here we go. Come on, full steam ahead. Why has it been so slow? Come on. I have no idea what's happening with this train, but these revs should build a lot quicker than that. You can hear the engine in the background, can't you? Just slowly climbing. Look at those revs. That's just weird. Doesn't normally behave like this. Am I going mad? There's some sort of glitch in the simulator. We'll see when we stop at Stockport. I mean, I'll save it, and if we have to reload it, then we'll reload the sim. Yeah, look, the revs are still building. This is very odd. Yeah, quite a bit of lag. Dearie me. Look, the revs are still building in the bottom. It just feels like it should be a bit quicker up to speed than this. I don't know what's gone on. Maybe it's me that's going mental. Does it always do this? I don't know. Flying through Heaton Chapel there. What time are we actually doing to Stockport? Oh, we don't have any timings at all. Oh, well, that's good. So we can have a leisurely pootle. We don't have to worry about going too fast, do we? I think I'm going to go with the old coasting for a little bit there. See, it does actually say in the brief. Oh, hang on. Timings are tight, so you will need to push your driving to the limit. It doesn't actually have any timetable actually in the, in the menu, does it? Like up here, it has a stopping pattern. We're stopping at Stockport, Davenport, Woodsmore, Hazel Grove, Disley, New Mills, Newtown, Whaley Bridge, Chapel on the Frith, and Buxton. Fantastic class 90 going the other way with an intermodal freight. That is excellent. Go past Heaton Norris. These lines, of course, coming from Staley Bridge here. Just have a bit more braking. Coming over Stockport Viaduct. Again, look at the amount of foliage here. It just really does look fantastic, doesn't it? Frame rate's improving, steadily improving. Got the M60 down here. The ring road, the motorway. The Stockport Pyramid over there. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Oh, there's a Voyager in. Now, I have already played this scenario, so I'm going to ask you, bearing in mind it's 2005, what's not quite right? What's not quite right on this scenario? And it's not a case of like the Platform Zero at Stockport or anything like that. It's, yeah, have any of you spotted it? 2005? Yeah, anybody? For instance, the Arriva Cross Country branded Voyager, which has, don't get me wrong, I could be completely in the wrong here, but I'm pretty sure their franchise didn't start until 2007. So in 2005, it would still have been in Virgin livery, as that Voyager was at Piccadilly. Yeah. And that's the Just Train scenario makers. Come on, you've missed that one. This is where someone turns around and says, actually, I think you'll find. Do you know what? I am going to Google that on my phone. Just because I might have made myself look an absolute idiot there. Hang on. Cross country. Cross country trains from the 11th of October 2007 until the 15th of October 2027. Wow, they'll have had the franchise 20 years. That's frightening, isn't it? Where does that time go? Yikes. But yeah, 2007, so they shouldn't be in that livery. Off we go, full steam ahead, hold on tight everybody. And I think it was that the train just changed up gears because it's sounding absolutely fine now. Should we have the windows down so we can hear ourselves? Oh, listen to that engine. Beautiful stuff. Oh, that's just not speed. There we go. Next stop, Davenport. So obviously coming out of Stockport here, we're going down towards Edgeley Junction. So you'll see where the trains carry on. We're obviously branching off, aren't we, towards Hazel Grove, whereas the trains towards London carry on straight on. And of course you've got your Chester via Altrincham services. You just branch off to the right. You can just see that little bit there that they're where I'm pointing at with the mouse. So this signal should have a feather to the top left. Position 1 junction indicator, which it does. Excellent. Of course, it's one of those, I think, as soon as you start making a route, it's outdated, isn't it? It's the case. I mean, round here now, I think you can do 60 down here. They've redone the signalling round Woodsmore. So yeah, this is an out-of-date route now. It's not the case. It used to be 40, which is, I think, what we're going to be contending with here. Wow, another First North Western 150. Oh, I love it. Gorgeous livery, that. I mean, it may be the case as well. I mean, I don't know when they electrified Hazel Grove. So many questions, because that might not have been in 2005, but obviously it's a modern day route, isn't it? So you have to allow for certain things. It's like when they do the old Northern Spirit scenarios down the Warrington line between Manchester and Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool South Parkway wasn't there at the time, so you do have to always make certain allowances, don't you, for old scenarios. Think down here as well, providing the timetable is the same time, we might also see a Transpennine service around, let's have a think, Davenport, Woodsmore. Yeah, we should definitely see one between here and there, because I think it's 55 at Stockport, isn't it? In fact, this might be it coming the other way now. So it should be a 158 if it's factually accurate. Obviously 185's not due to come in until next year. That's 2006. Though they were testing, so at this point... no, hang on, no, they were. Oh, I've completely forgotten my timeline here. Yeah, that's definitely a 158, isn't it? No, I'm going to stop down this end of the platform. I didn't see a stop board. You know what, we're going to go for a... oh, that woman's going to ruin the shot. There we go. I don't know if that's going to save it. There, lovely. That might be a cover photo. You just never know, do you? It's funny that 2005, we're now in 2024, 19 years later, and the timetable down the Hope Valley is more or less the same. It's never changed in all that time. Full steam ahead. Come on. Show us what you're made of, 156. Well, I mean, you can only go to 40 and then we'll have to brake, because obviously it's a bit of downhill section here. Of course, we'll see the Woodsmore level crossing. Funny, isn't it? There was back. I mean, we're going back to when 2015 now, so nearly 10 years ago, when I started my railway career. Because I do actually work on the railway. For those of you that weren't aware of that, yeah, I used to work in Leeds ticket office, and there was a bloke who came every morning and he'd buy a return ticket to Devonport, and I always used to think, I wonder where that is. What a funny sounding place, that Devonport. I thought it was on the coast because obviously, like a port. Yeah, never knew it was suburban Manchester. And all these years later, here I am, driving through it on Train Sim. That's a not very interesting story for you there. Not very interesting tidbit of information. There we go, doors are open. It's a shame that they don't have the functionality. You'd imagine with all the technical bits that these trains have on, that there would be a way that Train Sim could just have the guard doing it, so you don't have to press T. You just imagine that was a thing. I mean, I'm sure that didn't the 317, when that first came out, didn't that have that functionality from Armstrong Powerhouse, where you just roll into a station and if it was in guard mode, the doors would just open? I'm pretty sure that was a thing, but then apparently due to 32-bit, 64-bit, apparently that wrecked it. Oh, we'll just bang it in full power. Off we go. Hazel Grove, the next stop. Of course, Hazel Grove, the last station on the line where we've got electric wires, will be on full diesel mode only. I mean, this isn't exactly what you call a bimodal 156, is it? This is a full diesel mode all the way. But yeah, 319s, for instance, used to run down here. I don't know if 323s ever did Hazel Groves, I can't remember, but your 331s used to. I think they still do, but they used to do Blackpool Hazel Groves. Sorry, I'm just smacking the desk with my knee there, trying to get comfortable. But yeah, I don't think they do anymore, do they? They all go to Manchester Airport. Because from Blackpool you used to have 1 hour to Manchester Airport and 1 hour to Hazel Grove, whereas now both of those go to Manchester Airport, which is probably a good thing, because whenever I saw them, the Hazel Groves weren't very busy. You've got the turn-back sidings here. Yeah, the Hazel Grove services from Piccadilly weren't very busy, and what a lot of people would do is they'd get on the Hazel Grove service into Manchester Piccadilly, and then they'd change there for an airport train. So it does make a lot more sense to have them both going to the airport. Right, here we go, coming into Hazel Grove. I don't believe that signal box is still in operation anymore. Could be wrong. Right, we should go down to the end here, because I think that's where the ticket office is. Looks like it, doesn't it? And probably the way to the car park on the left. Ah yes, 7/5 car stop. Lovely. I love the squeal of the brakes. Hang on, what am I doing? 8. There we go. These, of course, I imagine the 7/5 is for East Midlands Trains Class 222s. They're the only 7-car and 5-car units that I can think of that are cleared to run down here. I mean, I can't imagine that Central Trains would have sent a 7-car Class 170, like, you know, a 3-car and 2 2-cars. That doesn't strike me as the sort of thing that would have happened. And Northern don't send 7 cars. I mean, hell, back in 2005 they didn't have 3-car and 4-car 331s, did they, for instance? Right, so leaving Hazel Grove, what we would normally do is branch off to the left here to go up the Hope Valley, or down the Hope Valley, or up the Hope Valley. I guess it depends which end you live at, doesn't it, as to whether you're going up or down. I know there's the official railway terminology there would be going up, up towards London, don't forget, everybody. But yeah, yeah, we would normally do that, whereas this is all new track. No, they've not messed up the height, the terrain here. In real life, they do actually go up this massive steep hill, even though there's a line parallel next to it. For some unbeknown reason, I'm sure there's a really, really good reason why they do it. It's just the most bizarre thing to look at it. It looks like there's been a sinkhole that's opened up and half the track's fallen away. But it's been like that as long as I've known it. So there must be a reason why they've done that. It's probably due to the fact that without that little hump in the middle there on this line, they won't be able to get the gradient, because that's a really steep gradient, that branch to the left that goes up towards Chinley then, sort of. I don't know why I'm pointing up here. I mean, it sort of is over there, isn't it, Chinley? I mean, you only have to look at the gradient that we're on now, 1 in 60. This is a really, really steep gradient. Probably why you didn't see a lot of 142s on Buxtons, because they probably wouldn't have got up this hill. Obviously being quite lightweight and not having a proper bogie, they only had 4 wheels in each carriage rather than the traditional 8. Yeah, I imagine that they'd have just sort of spun going up here, just wheel spin completely. So next stop on the service is Disley, and that's actually where we're going to end it for today, because obviously it's an hour. It's an hour long through from Manchester to Buxton, so I don't want to just waffle on and on and on and on for a whole hour. So we shall have this as next week's video as well. We'll be finishing it off up to Buxton. But as you can see already, I mean, just this nice little rural run. It really is lovely, isn't it? And it's so weird, isn't it, how you can set off in Manchester that's so busy, you know, big built-up city, Stockport, massively populated, Hazel Grove, sort of all suburban Manchester, and then all of a sudden it just all stops and it's all luscious trees and sort of, yeah, it's sort of, I mean, we're Cheshire, Derbyshire area now, aren't we? I mean, is Buxton Derbyshire? I don't think it's Cheshire, is it? Yeah, I think it's sort of up that way. But yeah, I just love that, like, you can just turn a corner. Ooh, what's this station here? We're not stopping at it. Does look good, doesn't it? Look at that. I love the camber. Look at the camber. Where are we? That's Middlewood. Ah, lovely. Yeah, I guess Middlewood's probably not a very busy station. I mean, they are every half an hour up this line, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I think they're every half hour. The tunnel there. Look at the moss on the tunnel and the weathering. That's so cool. Yeah, they are every half an hour, 51 and 21 from Manchester Piccadilly. So yeah, maybe 1 an hour stops at Middlewood. And the other one's sort of a semi-express one, I'm not sure. Maybe just a peak time one, I have no idea. Right, we've gone over our half an hour assignment, people. Oh my goodness me. The next video might not be quite half an hour in length. You'll all be lynching me. We should be there in 2 minutes. I've been probably too busy looking at other things and I've missed the whistle board for that crossing. Little bit of flange there. The cambers, that, you know, it's just things like that you don't get on quite a few routes, but it really, really is good. This is why I get cross with not just trains. This is just trains. Just trains are just brilliant. This is why I get cross with Dovetail Games. You know, when they did the Manchester to Huddersfield and Leeds line, and I had very, very few sort of positive things to say about it. But this is why, because it could look like this, you know, and the Manchester to Huddersfield line in particular, not so much Huddersfield Leeds, but Manchester to Huddersfield really does look like this, with all the foliage and the sort of winding corners, the super elevation. It really does look amazing, whereas, you know, the Dovetail Games have done it and it just looks terrible, whereas this is awesome. Oh, 150 as well there, in that gorgeous livery. Right, well, that is where we're going to be leaving it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do click the like button. It's always appreciated. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing so that you never miss out on any future episodes. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Are you a fan of this Buxton line? I certainly am. Certainly am. Other than that, hopefully, I'll not mess that up, and I shall see you all next time. Cheerio! Goodbye for now.